Hi, Sandra here from Creating in Spain. Welcome to my channel. Now I'm doing a video today on a Christmas card. Now this is one version of it and it is slightly different as Christmas cards go, in that I have designed this one with a curved flat front and you have another panel on the back of the card. Now there's another way of doing this card in the more traditional manner, but I actually quite like this one. And then when it stands up, I don't know if you can actually see it on the camera, but it stands up resting on this area here. So if you don't like that, don't give up, because I've got the other version of the card which is done in a more traditional way. But I actually quite like it, and it's a little different, and there's nothing wrong with that. I start off with a base, and this base is 20 by 12.5 centimeters folded in half. And the first thing you need to do is to put, if I put this one back in view, is to put this strip down. Now it's a strip like so and will go on the bottom, and in this particular case I've cut this one from a silver card, so that's the one that needs to go on first and everything else follows afterwards. Just got some fluff on the back of my card here. So this one I'm going to stick down, and I'm just going to use a zig pen to do this. You can tape it down if you wish, but if you use a glue, usually you have a little bit of wiggle room if you don't get it positioned absolutely perfectly within the first second. You can still usually move it and get it in the right place. So there we go. Now you notice my card happens to be just a touch wider, and that's because it's a piece of scrap card that was almost the right size, but not entirely. And what I'll probably do is complete the card and then just trim it down one side. So that's that first piece done. And the next one that I need to slot in is this one. I've cut this from a purple glitter card, and I want this one to sit in the slot that is made by the silver. So get this one put down, so some glue on here. And it's sticking with my finger as per usual. And position it on one side. And because you have a little bit of a ledge, it's relatively easy to make sure it goes in the right place. There we go. So now I can put on my background piece. And I can actually fold my card in half to put that one on. Got them slightly misaligned by the looks of it. And that's probably because my card was the scrap piece and it wasn't exactly the size that it should have been. There we go, that's a bit better. I'm going to trim these sides down to neaten them off. I just didn't want to waste the card. I mean, I go through so much of the stuff anyway that I save it wherever I can, and it was so very, very close to being precisely the right size. I thought, I can manage. So, put it this way. There we go. So that is the basic front of it. And for this particular one, I decided to use just a plain white card for the next piece. And so that can go in. But this one, because it's a little more fiddly, I'm going to use my liquid varnish that I use as a glue. It sticks extremely well. It's easy to put on very accurately. And it makes life quite easy to do more delicate items. There we go. And again, that will sit going over, whoops. I will get it in the right position eventually. There we go. It sits into the slot which is formed by the glitter strip. So there we go. Now the next thing I need to do is to trim down the sides on that. As a, if you cut out the file as it is, you don't need to, but I didn't have the base card exactly right, so I do need to trim the side. So I'm just going to put this in my trimmer and just trim off a very small fraction on either edge. It's quite a handy thing to be able to do if you slightly misalign something as well. Sometimes you can straighten it up just by trimming off a little edge somewhere. Okay, so that's my card almost completed, and all I need now is a sentiment, and I've cut it out again from some silver card like this one, in fact the same card. And I'm going to just use my zig pen. I alternate, sometimes I use the zig and sometimes I use the varnish. It just depends. Right, here we go. And this one I'm going to position slightly differently. Like so. Put a piece of card over the top, press down to make sure it's in position. Yeah. And then do the other one. And I'm going to put that one alongside this time. When I originally designed the card, I was going to actually heat emboss a sentiment directly on the card. And everything was going wrong, as it normally does when I heat embossing and trying to film. Everything was going wrong. It's really weird. I can heat emboss when I'm not filming and it's not a problem. As soon as I put a camera on it, everything goes haywire. Alright. In fact, I ended up almost dropping my camera, which wasn't a very clever idea. There we go. So that's the more traditional one that just stands up normally. But I do quite like this one. It's a little unusual, and I like a little unusual. So I think they both come out quite nicely. And because there are a number of different pieces to cut out, you can cut them out of different colours. You can cut all the pieces out of different colours and make 3 or 4 cards in one go and just mix and match, as long as you have colours that go together. So it's one that you can do the same card for different people and they won't look the same. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.